Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Mm, say you'll be there. I'm giving you everything, all that joy can bring. This I swear. I'm giving you everything, all that joy can bring. This I swear. Oh, why is that song stuck in my head? I'm giving you everything. Where have I heard that before? Anyway, I don't know. For some reason, that song just keeps coming to mind. Mary H., thank you so much for being here first. Mm, wow, just 95 people. Oh, that's fine. I don't mind. Yeah, I do. Where's everybody at? Anyway, let's get into it. With any luck, we'll be out of here in an hour. So wake me up before you go. Cause I'm not planning on going solo. That was a horrible song. Wake me up before you go. That was one terrible song. I tell you, I love George Michael's music, but I don't love that song. That song stinks on hot ice. Yeah, really, seriously. Hey, Hazel Jones. Carmen's Space, Place, Beauty. Hey, Carmen's Place Beauty. Oh, fancy, fancy. Is that a schnauzer? That's a schnauzer, right? Greetings to you as well. Thank you for being here. Okay, here goes. So the let's go from left to right. William is up in Scotland hiding. The Beckham's family drama. Oh my goodness. That is the story of the day. You know, a little while ago, Air Force One was on its way to Davos, but it had to turn around and go back to Andrews Base, Joint Base Andrews, where they keep the presidential aircraft. Had to go back to Andrews because of some mechanical difficulty. And guess what? That ain't much of a story. As far as we know, they swapped to another plane and they're en route to Davos. But just so you guys know, there's more than just one Air Force One. There's a fleet of aircraft, including two military grade 747s, and I'm not sure how many of those military grade Boeing 757s, which you can see the Duchess of Sussex standing in front of that one. That is a presidential plane right there. That one is made for going to bases that will not accommodate a jumbo jet. So that's why. Um, Aside from that, they even have some of those little small, you know, jet planes, but those are very rare for the president to use. Even a president who is unqualified and in over their comb over. Okay. All right, let's get on with it. So, oh, and of course, Harry's second day in court, and Kate Middleton. If I didn't call her strange, I wouldn't know what else to call her. Very strange individual, but we'll get into that. So, wherever you are in this world, whether you're north, south, east, or west, I really do appreciate you being a part of Royal Sussex. Do you all recognize this lady? This lady right here, do you all recognize her? Um, there are so many things that we have learned in school, but there's a whole sector of society that is often ignored because, well, they don't really count us not as a, you know, someone that has contributed to the success of the United States. But of course, the US of A, the United States of America, what would we be without the African American? What will we be without Black culture? What kind of music would come out of this country if it wasn't for Black people? Yes, we have contributed so much to this country. Heather Stroud, very good, very good. That is excellent. Um, and close enough, close enough. And well, you know what? That's accurate. I'll just say that's accurate for the purposes of this conversation. That is quite accurate. Um, well, her name is Gladys West, the hidden figure who helped invent GPS. She is the mother of GPS. She was born in October 27th, 1930, in Sutherland, Virginia, and she passed away January 17th, 2026, age 95. Mathematician models that is inspired the GPS. It was her mathematics that studied the shape of the earth as we know it. So that is the mother of GPS. She is the one who made it possible for us to uh, navigate without pulling those big giant maps out. And oh, doesn't that just get wild? First time I went to Europe back in 1999, there was no civilian GPS. Um, Went back in, what was it, 2007? Still no GPS. The smartphone was in its infancy, especially the smartphone as we know it today. But now GPS has really changed the way we live. Taxi drivers used to have to study and study and study to try to figure out where everything was in major cities. One of the hardest taxi licenses to get in the world is that of a London cab driver. But thanks to GPS, everybody's an expert with getting around town. Still can't beat the old cab drivers, but now everyone is able to navigate. So, yeah, imagine the type of life she's had. Um, and she's just one of several people that has contributed so much to science. Black doctors, scientists of every sort, you name them. So she's an American mathematician. She was known for her contribution to mathematical modeling of the shape of the Earth and her work on the development of satellite, uh, is it geodesy model? that were later incorporated into the Global Positioning System, or GPS, Global Positioning System. West was inducted into the United States Air Force Hall of Fame in 2018. She was awarded the Webby Lifetime Achievement Award for the development of satellite geo, geodesy models. Well, that's a weird word, but I think that's how you say it. And let's see, I'm going to skip down to her career. In 1956, West was hired to work at the Naval Proving Ground in Dahlgren, Virginia, later the Naval Surface Warfare Center. She was the second Black woman hired and one of only 4 Black employees. She was a computer programmer in the Dahlgren Division, um, and a project manager for processing systems for satellite data analysis. Concurrently, West earned a master's degree in public administration from the University of Oklahoma. And in early 1960s, West participated in an award-winning study that proved the regularity of Pluto's moon relative to Neptune. Subsequently, West began to analyze satellite altimeter data for NASA geodetic, geodetic Earth orbiting program to create models of the Earth's shape. She became project manager for the short-lived CSAT radar altimetry that is project, the first satellite that could remotely sense oceans. West work cut the team's processing time in half, and she was recommended for a commendation. Anyway, it goes on and on. West programmed IBM 7030 stretch computer to deliver increasingly precise calculations for the shape of the Earth. Imagine that. I mean, it just goes on and on. West met her husband, Ira, at the Naval Surface. Oh, by the way, let me share this with you. There is our hero right there, Gladys Mae West. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see. Her husband Ira was at the Naval Surface Welfare Center in Dahlgren Division, where he also worked as a mathematician. They were 2 of the only 4 Black employees at the time. They were married in 1957. They have 3 children and 7 grandchildren. Wow. Oh, although she supported the civil rights movement, she could not participate because she was a government employee. Yeah. She was not really a civilian. I mean, yes and no, but you understand what I'm saying. It would have made things very difficult. Mm. Oh, and you know what? Listen to this. West continued to prefer using paper maps over GNSS based navigating systems, saying, I'm a doer, hands on kind of person. If I can see the road and see where it turns and see where it went, I am more sure. West died on January 17th, 2026, age 95. Isn't that something? The mother of GPS still used paper maps. Don't you love it? Still using paper maps. Oh wow, that I think that is just so ironic, but I love it. Okay, so anyway, that was someone I thought you should know. And there's her husband right there, Ira. What a handsome couple. Gladys West, the hidden figure who helped invent GPS. Hey, cookies and cream. All right, what's next here? Prince Harry says he was targeted after challenging Daily Mail over private life intrusion. You don't say. Well, as you know, I love to defer to Feminagra. And isn't that something? Look at those three troublemakers on the right side there. No surprise to see them in the deep of it, is it? On the second day of the trial, Prince Harry returned to the High Court as his fight with the Daily Mail's publisher escalates. His legal team made clear this case is not about bruised feelings or hostile headlines. They say it centers on unlawful intrusion, paid access to private information, and a pattern of targeting that his legal team says followed Harry after he confronted the paper's influence. As proceedings unfolded, the court heard evidence naming reporters, including Rebecca English, Katie Nichols, she's at the top. Oh, and would you know it, Carolyn Flippin Graham. Carolyn Graham, that troublemaker, alongside emails, alleged payments, and detailed claims now under judicial scrutiny. Isn't that something? If it isn't the accounting firm of Nichols, Graham, and English. Well, it should not surprise anyone. I told you, Rebecca English is awful enough by herself. Throw in that other one, Carolyn Graham, and Katie Nichols. I mean, these are some of the most twisted, most evil people that could ever possibly call themselves a journalist. They really are. Instead of just reporting the news, they massage it and create something of their own making, loosely based on actual events. And I do mean loosely based on actual events. As you can imagine, I don't care for them. An article published in January 2010 contained granular details about Prince Harry's relationship with Chelsea Davy, including his preference as to where he likes to spend the night. His barrister, David Sherborne, told the High Court Harry's evidence was absolutely firm. He said, and neither he nor Miss Davies' closest friends would not possibly have betrayed their confidence. The court heard that the journalist claimed to have obtained the information from a man living alone in a semi-retired on the Isle of Wight. Mr. Sherborne said it was utterly impossible that this person would have supplied that level of information. He added that Harry had described the impact as causing distress and paranoia. Now, that comes from the Independent, the U.S. version of the Independent News. What the court heard about unlawful information gathering, lawyers acted for Prince Harry told the High Court that deeply private details about his relationship with Chelsea Davy could not have come from the friendly tips or casual gossip. David Sherborne said the article in question carried granular information, including flight timing, seat numbers, travel routes, and living arrangements. He told the judge that such details pointed to unlawful methods rather than legitimate sourcing. Those allegations sit at the heart of a wider claim against Associated Newspapers. Brought by Prince Harry alongside Elton John, David Furnish, Elizabeth Hurley, Sadie Frost, Doreen Lawrence, and Simon Hughes. The case alleges misuse of private information over many years, including payments to private investigators, blagging, and the acquisition of confidential data. The publishers denies all wrongdoing and maintains that its journalists relied on lawful sources. Oh, as if that were true. As if that were true. So Sherborne directly challenged that defense by naming reporters who worked, that is, relied on the disputed material. He accused Carolyn Graham, Rebecca English, and Katie Nichols of publishing information that he argued could be plausibly have been obtained through legitimate channels. Emails shown that is in a high court referred to payments linked to private investigators and requests for sensitive travel information. In one instance, the court heard that flight details were allegedly obtained while Harry was traveling under a pseudonym. Harry will parade in front of his grandmother, the Queen, and other royals today when he passes out of the famous academy, right? Now, this is like a list of things, but at the bottom, highlighted in yellow, it says Harry's girlfriend, Chelsea Davy, 20, has flown in from Cape Town to be at the ball. How did they know that? She was given an armed escort for the first time yesterday as she landed at Heathrow, then text Harry to say she was okay. How did they know that? You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? This is very private details that was easily reported in the papers as though they were notified by Kensington Palace or something like that. And I'm saying Kensington Palace when Harry was a part of that household. As though one of Harry's aides said, "Oh, guess what? She's coming in on such and such a flight. She's sitting in such and such a seat. And by the way, she's going to have armed escorted." I mean, nope. Sleight of hand. Archive mail reports linked to the article by Rebecca English show private travel and security details now challenged in Prince Harry's case. The claimant argued that the suggested source offered by defense were implausible and, in some cases, incapable of providing such access. Sherborne told the court that the paper trail of emails and payments undermined claims of innocent news gathering. Prince Harry's legal team says the documents point to how the stories may have been made, regardless of how they were later justified. Okay, so coverage of the trial that is exposed a sharp divide. Straight news outlets have focused on evidence placed before the court. Tabloid commentary has leaned heavily on claims that such disclosures are routine for public figures. That framing seeks to normalize what the claimants say was covert and paid for access. UK front pages reflect intense media focus on Prince Harry amid ongoing legal actions over press intrusion. Public reaction has followed a similar split. Some observers see Prince Harry reopening old battles. Others claim a claimant pressing for accountability in an industry long accused of overreach. Harry's previous court victory against Mirror Group has shaped that response. It showed that unlawful practices were not theoretical or rare. The language used about Harry was also drawn attention. Words like paranoid and oversensitive appeared alongside denials of wrongdoing. His legal team says that the narratives ignores the security risk created when private travel details enter the public domain. Sweetie, why the defense narrative struggles under scrutiny. From Harry's side, the defense argument raises obvious problems. When journalists point to sources who cannot realistically explain the details published, credibility weakens. When emails that is, show thanks for information supplied by investigators, claims of casual sourcing look thin. Sherborne's submissions argue that the material points to a pattern rather than accidents. He argued that journalists named in court relied on unlawful techniques while later distancing themselves from the method. In Harry's witness statement, he described the impact as deeply disturbing. He says neither he nor Davy shared the information that appeared in print. This case also touches on power. The global media group had a reach to intrude while individuals bore the risk. Harry's lawyer says challenging that imbalance is precisely why he became a target once he pushed back. The trial continues with Harry expected to give evidence. Its outcome will turn on documents, testimony, and credibility. For now, the picture painted in court supports his claim that this was not gossip gone too far, but a system that treated private lives as fair game. Okay. Oh, let's see here. Nash Singhvi, thank you so much for 38 months membership. Thank you very much for that. How interesting. Okay. And so this was Harry leaving the court today. I'm pretty sure this is for today because last night, by the time he left court, it was pretty much dark outside. So I do believe that this group of photos is from today. Prince Harry departs the royal courts of justice on day 2 of the case against the publishers of the Daily Mail. And just for good measure, in case you don't know, the Daily Mail is owned by the racially ambiguous owner, Lord Nappyhead. He inherited the paper from his father, who was also evil and spiteful, a loser, a failure, and a short-sighted panty waist. So, yeah, that's what happened. Oh, Nash, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member. Very, very much appreciate that. Remember, everyone, for the price of a cup of coffee once a month, that's enough to start a membership with Royal Sussex. And then, of course, there are more, um, you know, higher figures for the memberships. Also greatly appreciated. So, yeah, thank you very much. And go to hell, Lord Nappyhead. Let me get rid of him. Oh, man. What an awful person he is. Sorry, everyone. I have had to sit on this for so long, but if you read the following, you will understand why. Nearly there. Power to the people, not the press, and we will win. Here is the link. So it seems as though Gavin Burrows, private investigator, was utilized by the tabloids, and they say that now he is singing a different tune. It almost seems like someone got to him. So, but we'll learn more about that later. Prince Harry's case is really strong. Could be in for real trouble here. Wow. Okay. That's good to know that Harry's case is really, really strong. According to Celibici, I'm sure Prince Harry does not relish all of these court appearances on behalf of his lawsuit against the British press, but he inevitably looks amazing. Every single time he has his freedom strut, his shoulders are back, his impeccably cut suits hang beautifully on his slim, athletic frame. I remember a few years back when Harry made a surprise appearance in London, and the stunned photographers called out to him so politely, "Over here, sir, sir, over here, sir, over here, sir," or "Thank you, sir, sir, thank you, sir," when he waved to them or said hello. Anyway, here are more photos of Harry arriving and exiting the Royal Court of Justice on Monday. He'll literally be there all week and is due to testify on Thursday. Yeah, he's going to be there all week. Well, that's a good thing. At least we know they'll be thorough. Okay. The last part exactly of Associated Newspaper Limited Defense, never mind all of these payments to PIs, private investigators, for years. All of the information they gathered about Harry and Chelsea Davy was simply received via leaks from friends. This is what the tabloid wants you to believe. You know, friends who happen to know Chelsea's flight information, friends who suggested to Becky English, no less, that they could plant someone next to Chelsea on the flight. Oh my God. Planting a person next to you on a flight. Just normal, unnamed sources, obviously. Anyway, as much as these people want to make the case entirely about Harry, just the sheer fact that Harry is one of 6 plaintiffs and their lawyer have his wealth of evidence, all of it means that the trial is going to play out in some very interesting ways. So watch this space, you guys. Watch this space. Oh, you know what? Um, that person I told you I cannot stand, Brer Rabbit, um, the royalist, Tom Sykes, he says, I have to say, despite having been a massive skeptic about Harry's case, largely because of the shady private investigator called Gavin Burrows recanting his witness statement, which was the only explicit admission of phone hacking. I feel after being in court for the first morning of activity that Associated Newspapers Limited, the publishers of the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday, could be in real trouble. Of course, I should qualify that by saying that the claimants get to go first, and we will have to wait to see how compelling the Mail's rebuttals are. So that's Tom Sykes, who has been carrying the water for Kensington Palace for quite some time, is of the opinion that the Daily Mail is in trouble, that they have a lot of splaining to do. A lot. Lex says, friends of Harry, you mean Charles III, Wank, and the cow, the evil cow. Thank you very much, Legs. But that is so true. One of those people from, what is it, LBC, whatever, the news station where James O'Brien works, that lady that looks like an overstuffed pinata, she said, well, at least David Beckham, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, he just put it on social media. He didn't ask for any money like Harry and Meghan. Um, Let me say this. Harry and Meghan stayed quiet for a year, an entire year, hoping that the leaking and briefing would cease, that it would stop. You've taken away the security. You've taken away the allowance, right? All of which was guaranteed in writing. It was taken away. The results of the Sandringham summit was removed. So, after a year of silence, Harry and Meghan was hoping to stop the leaking and briefing coming from Kensington Palace, meaning William and Kate, and to a lesser extent, but also present, the leaking and briefing coming from Clarence House, home of Charles and Godzilla. But they didn't think fat meat was greasy, so they just kept running their mouths. You ever heard that expression? I thought I told you to leave me alone. You don't think fat meat is greasy, do you? You keep messing with me, you're going to get your head busted. Now, that's a little colorful way to say, leave me alone before you get hurt, right? Well, they did not leave them alone. They just kept it up and kept it up. So, warning number one, the Oprah interview. Warning number two, the Harry and Meghan docuseries. And still, they wouldn't leave him alone. Warning number three, the best-selling nonfiction book in history, Spare. And if you happen to believe, although if you do believe this, I wish you would never come back to Royal Sussex again. If you happen to believe that Will and Kate, Charles and Godzilla have a right to leak and brief, that they have a right to start a whispering campaign against the Sussexes, I want you to consider something. Harry and Meghan has a right to push back. They have a right to tell their truth, which we should, make note of the fact that Meghan has not taken pen to anything to do with that family. She doesn't even mention the family. She didn't even mention those people. She has gone about her business and she has taken a big step back away from the life that she used to know over in the UK. Okay? They're back in California now, the Golden State, that which would be the world's fourth largest economy if it was an independent state and not part of the United States. But they tried. They tried. All they wanted was to be left alone. But the tabloid media would not hear of it. And the way that they go after the Sussexes, we all know that that means they want to harass them and try to make them look petty and shallow and foolish so that they can't earn money. They also want to harass people that get close to them. That way, they think twice about being in the company of the Sussexes. Well, all of that backfired in the most epic way possible, and I could not be more delighted. So, there you go. And right here, oh, thank you again, Lex, for the super chat. Right here it says, Byline investigates Daily Mail and, of course, the Mail on Sunday. Check it out. Byline Investigates is back in business. The site that first revealed evidence of phone hacking at the Mail, which then dramatically landed the paper in court, is now reporting on the case. Now it's all got very real. It's all got very real. And he's facing them down at the Royal Court of Justice. I like the sound of that. We told you years ago how Prince Harry had been allegedly unlawfully targeted by Britain's middle market tabloid. We've got the old team back together so that we can bring you the best exclusives and the deepest background of inside and outside the hearing. Of course, the Mail publisher Associated News Limited denies all allegations, so we will be reporting on their side of the story too. So there you go. Welcome back. Byline Investigates. Also, you guys, just so you know, Byline Investigates, they are independent and they will accept donations, right? They will accept donations. So, for the most part, they have been doing the Lord's work. And I, for one, am very excited for that. Okay. Now, here on the right, again, Galvin Burrows, private investigator. Sorry, everyone. I had to sit on this for a long time. Blah, 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 blah. He's waffling. He's talking out of both sides of his mouth. But let's see what happens. Over here on the right, Prince Harry and Sir Elton John among group suing Daily Mail publisher over bugging, impersonation, and accessing bank accounts. They were even accessing bank accounts just to see what kind of money certain people were working with, like Doreen Lawrence, Stephen Lawrence's mother. They targeted the Lawrence family, whilst the tabloid, which was it? Was it the Daily Mail? I think it was the Daily Mail. While the Daily Mail was declaring that a certain group of young men who unalived Stephen Lawrence was prancing around and, didn't seem to worry about the fact that they had unalived this person. Stephen Lawrence, and that nobody would care even if they did know where they were wrong. And they were jailed for a long time. So, wrong. People do care. People do want to know. People will ask for justice. Justice for Stephen Lawrence. So, there you go. On the BBC program, The Prince and the Press, Galvin Burrows publicly accepted responsibility for being part of aggressive press investigations into Prince Harry's life, particularly by surveillance. The phone and communication of Harry's ex, Chelsea Davy, digging into her personal data and acknowledging that such work contributed to intrusive media coverage that affected Harry's adolescence. He expressed regret for his actions. Well, if you say so. Let me see. As part of the ruthless culture focused on Prince Harry, he admitted monitoring and investigating Harry's then girlfriend. What a shame. There was a lot of voicemail hacking going on. There was a lot of surveillance work on her phone. I mean, this poor girl was being hounded. Describing what information investigators were trying to gather, says, I was very sorry. I was greedy. I was they were into baking soda. Yeah, that's it. They were into baking soda and was living in a fake state of grandeur and expressed apology and reflection on his past behavior. And that's the thing too. Hounding people and inserting yourself into their private lives just to get information is such a security risk, because let's say you're Chelsea Davy and you know what you've spoken about with Prince Harry. But by the time you realize something is wrong, they have already been through your voice messages, if they could, your emails. In some cases, they have burglarized houses and such, apartments. I mean, there was just no limit to the news gathering, only so that they can write an article the next day and say what time to expect Chelsea's flight. Um, yeah, it was just all so invasive, such an invasion of privacy. Hey, soul brother, I'm so glad that this is the last case. Prince Harry and others clutching at straws with claims against Daily Mail publisher court told. The publishers, the Daily Mail publisher, told that to the court. Grasping at straws. Yeah, we'll see. Wait till you have to pay out that money. Prince Harry was just named. I'm sorry, Prince Harry has just turned up to court. This is for day one. Oh, yeah, that's day one. Never mind. Never mind that. Anyway, you can see a composite sketch of how it was in court. Oh, God, I cannot see that. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. So this is Imogene James reporting from the High Court. The final investigator David Sherborne is discussing is Gavin Burrows. Burrows is a big name in this case. He appeared to have to sign a long statement detailing what he knew about the use of illegal methods, but later claimed his signature had been forged. Did you hear what I said? He claimed his signature had been forged. Isn't that convenient? Burrows is included in the 2003 contact list of the Daily Mail's news desk. He's on their contact list. Sherborne points out this confirms the fact that the Associated Newspaper Limited used him, also known as Daily Mail, used him. That means that he was used. He was hired by them. Now, what was he hired to do? Cut the grass? Water the plants? Drive people to and from the airport? No, he was investigating people's private information. Can you believe that? 2003, he's on the contact list. David Sherborne was not having it. Do you understand me? David Sherborne, the star barrister that he is, was not having it. This man was like, not today, Satan. He then brings up a tweet that Burrows posted in a link to Sky News, the article when it was announced that Prince Harry and others were taking this action. The tweet says, "Sorry, everyone. I've had to sit on this for so long. Power to the people, not the press. I own up and assisted all parties in the action they are now bringing by being honest about what I was involved in regarding said parties." These are pretty clear, unequivocal admissions by Burrows, Sherborne alleges. Don't you just love David Sherborne? Don't you just love him? Oh, I tell you, Harry is very well represented. Now, the first day in court, here's another little recap. In this case, by the way, the other one's from yesterday. This case, which has been progressing, that is, for years, finally had its first day in court on Monday. In this impressive court of justice, Royal Court of Justice row of journalists, I'm sorry, not rows, rows. Now, see, I hate that word. Rows of journalists sat at the back, feet away from Prince Harry. Rows of journalists sat mere feet away from Prince Harry. Ugh. Who turned up to watch. He was joined by Elizabeth Hurley, Sir Simon Hughes, and Sadie Frost. The claimants first to deliver their opening statements, represented by Barrister David Sherborne. He went through a long list of private investigators he alleged Associated Newspaper Limited used to gather information unlawfully, prominent names including Gavin Burrows and Lee Harpen. Get him, David. He also referenced several journalists he says were regularly used, private investigators, to gain this information, including Daily Mail's crime writer Stephen Wright and its royal editor Rebecca, "Where's My Ozempic English?" That's right, Rebecca, "I'm eating rice cakes now, English." all have denied the allegations. I bet you Rebecca English went home and snatched the door off the refrigerator. What you bet? I bet you she went home with her little greedy ass and snatched the door off the refrigerator and threw it out in the garden. What you bet? She was probably up all night trying to order takeaway because her nerves are bad. He also referenced several journalists he says were, I'm sorry, Sherborne said there had been systematic and sustained use of unlawful information gathering at the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday, and that there was no way that details reported in some articles could have been lawfully obtained. Associated News Limited, aka Daily Mail, has repeatedly denied the allegations, calling them lurid and preposterous. Oh, really? Oh, really? Why, these claims are lurid and preposterous. You want to know what's lurid and preposterous? What's lurid? What? Do you want to know what's lurid and preposterous? That's the fact that you have the Tom Jones of newspaper publishers, Lord Nappyhead, Lord Furthermore or Evermore or whatever his name is. You have this person who, according to the one drop rule, is an African, pretending like his newspaper haven't really stepped in it the way they have. Well, we know it has. David Sherborne said so, so I believe him, not some racially ambiguous newspaper editor. Anyway, there's more. You wait, there's more. Sherborne raised another article. This time is written by Rebecca English. Yes, old big back Becky, Rebecca English. Ooh, I can't stand her. She's not just a two-face, she's got so many faces. All of them shady. Every single one of them. I cannot stand her. Plus, as I said, she's a Loompa Loompa. And I don't trust Loompa Loompas with their little tiny hands and their um, white eyebrows and green hair and orange skin. You know, I don't trust orange people. I voted for Biden, and then I voted for Harris. Big back Becky equals grimace. Not anymore. She didn't got a prescription, honey. She got a prescription. Yesterday, Sherborne accused her of obtaining the exact plane seat. She's the one that's responsible for that, it has been alleged. Flight times and travel plans. This is someone who was supposed to be Harry's friend. That's supposed to be Harry's friend. Obtaining the exact plane seat, flight times, and travel plans of Prince Harry's then girlfriend, Chelsea Davy, in December of 2007. We are hearing more about this article now. Prince Harry's witness statement said this was not only intrusive information, but it also carried security risk. She could have cost someone their life. It has been alleged. Sherborne said the evidence shows English paid £200 for this information to private investigator Mike Baer, including Davy's seat number. English said she doesn't remember this email. He adds, it was entirely frustrating that this information came out while Prince Harry was trying to maintain a private relationship. The Duke says in his witness statement, Prince Harry says it was deeply disturbing seeing this information in the article and that neither he nor Davy were sharing this information with others. It demonstrates irresistibly that English used unlawful information gathering, Sherborne said. Now, Davy's travel plans. Oh, let me show you here. The one on the right. The one on the right. That one. Davy's travel plans unlawfully gathered, Sherborne claims. We continue to move through the article. Prince Harry has claimed used unlawful gathering information, the one Sherborne now references from 2004 about Harry's ex-partner, Chelsea Davies. What we see are their travel plans together, including the fact that the prince brought her out on a private hunting expedition to a lodge in Argentina, Sherborne said. There were a number of journalists involved in this article feeding different information, the lawyers continued. An email from Heather Briley to Carolyn Graham. I repeat, an email from Heather Briley to Carolyn Graham at the Daily Mail, and the same time of this article says, have spoken to contact at British Airways. Here half an hour ago and offered, and it just says $, in return for name. He's gone off to investigate. Harry is paranoid about her being outed. Another email said that is shown in court is from Carolyn Graham, sent to David Dillon, her desk editor. Carolyn Graham again. We say these emails clearly refer to the payment of information unlawfully obtained through British Airways through payment or blagging, lawyer David Sherborne says. I mean, that is disgusting. That information could have gotten someone in a lot of trouble. Leaking that information so that, and listen, you guys, I don't want to overstate this, but Harry says that the people that go after them with cameras, the paparazzi, are thugs. These investigators are thugs. These are people who don't mind skirting the law or breaking the law because they have spent most of their time on the wrong side of the law, feeding the most disgusting underbelly of society. With illegally gathered information. Illegally gathered information. It's not just a moral issue. It was, I almost dropped the F-bomb. It was illegal. You know what? I should be on Harry's legal team. I should be in that court, prancing back and forth, like F. Lee Sussex. Like the lawyer F. Lee Bailey. I'll be a lawyer F. Lee Sussex. F for F around and find out, and Lee for Lee. Lee for you're a liar. That's it. F. Lee Bailey. F. Lee Sussex. Ooh, these people, these nasty, disgusting people. They have no regard for another person's life. They really don't. Because every bit of this could have gotten someone seriously hurt. What if Chelsea was driving herself somewhere and the paranoia kicks in that you're being watched? What if she had wrapped her car around a tree? Same goes for Harry. The paranoia of being watched. Let us not forget what happened to Carolyn Flack, among other people. There you go, Mary H. There you go. To Kill a Mockingbird. I can do just like Gregory Peck. Leaking, and by the way, thank you. Leaking that sort of information. Could you imagine if you were any of these people that have filed suit, even people in the past? Imagine if you had an STD and it was in the papers the next day because they listened into your phone messages, or they bugged your flat, or they went through your trash, or whatever, or they sat next to you on a plane. It was so necessary to gather that information from a child. Chelsea was practically a child at the time. Harry, practically a child. These are young people. As far as I'm concerned, until they're 25 years old, they're babies. Their brains haven't fully formed. And then, of course, think about everything we just learned right now, and think about what Princess Diana had gone through. Do you know how easy it is to listen into a phone extension? The telephone wires that we had in our households are such low voltage wires. You can touch them with your bare fingers. You can lick those wires. They will not hurt you. They are not lethal. So anyone could undo the phone jack and connect another phone and listen into your conversations. The old fashioned landline phones were very vulnerable like that. And if you've had a phone back in the day, let me see an amen. If you've ever, if you've ever heard your neighbor's conversation because the wires got crossed, because I've had it happen before. I've listened to a whole conversation. It only happened that one time at this one particular place I lived. I still don't know how that happened. So I'm saying this to say that Diana said people were listening in at Kensington Palace, and I believe her. But when that happened to Diana, it was deliberate. It was deliberate. If anybody ever wondered what motivates Harry to defend his mother's memory, to defend her honor, I mean, dear God, look at what she was up against. Well, I see some amens. See what I'm saying? Not difficult at all. Now, you guys, we have to be very sensitive about this because it's kind of icky. It really is kind of icky. But take a look at the headline in the upper left-hand corner. Body language expert claims Victoria Beckham is so tactile with Brooklyn, 19 years old, in photos as she uses clingy ritual with her son instead of David to prove they're a happy family. Now go to the red top paper there. Hilarious moment. Harper Beckham, 13, dodges dad David's kisses after he hit defiantly defended himself for kissing her on the lips. I just want to say that I believe that a lot of this is posturing for brand Beckham. I think a lot of this stuff is posturing for brand Beckham. I want to believe that this was just solidifying brand Beckham. I don't want to think anything creepy about it. I need to believe that in their in their quest to prove that they are the ultimate family unit, that both husband and wife are just a little bit too clingy with their kids. So, thanks to Brooklyn, this is all over the news. I mean, this dominated the headlines. Air Force One had to turn back and nobody cared. I mean, you look at that story and you're just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me get back to Brooklyn. Let's see, Baron. They were trying to say WikiLeaks, Willie Leaks, that is in control of Harry's trust fund. Man, these people are relentless and shameful. You know, they're only saying that because William is going to be king. And of course, William would be controlling the purse strings for any of the left behind royals. Harry's got everything that he's going to get, unless Charles leaves him something. He's gotten everything that he's going to get. There will be no more lump sums for Prince Harry after Charles is gone. Right? And stranger things have happened. We will never know whether or not Charles has given Harry the hookup. We will never know whether the Queen Mother or Queen Elizabeth or any of those people have given him the hookup. So far, we're certain that Diana, whose will, for whatever reason, seemed to be very public, um, we know that he, was set up really nice from his mom. But anything else, we just don't know. But thank you for your comment. Really? I believe it's the opposite. The Queen put Prince Harry in charge of William's trust fund. Is it? Food for thought. I don't think it works like that, but it would be so cool if that was the case. It would be nice if we found out that that's why William is always so unhinged. Leg says, I heard that a while ago too. It sounds like it isn't true. My guess is that they want to pretend that William has some control over Harry in some way. That's all it's about. Yeah, the derangers like to push that narrative. And if you hear it from, let's say, Angela Latrine, she parrots everything that she hears from the chat groups if she's not actively making up stuff. And understand, guys, a lot of this stuff they say is just so that they could upset people like you and me. You know what? Those lidocaine patches work very well. I put on a lidocaine patch um, just as I started, and I tell you, that little sharp pain in that herniated disc seems to have escaped me. I can dance like Aunt Viv now. You know, they sell them over the counter, but the best ones are the ones your doctor gives you. You can leave it on for 12 hours. Yeah, I feel so much better. Everybody dance now. Uh, 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 Give me the music. Uh, 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 Give me the music. Yes, y'all, I'm dancing like Aunt Viv over here. I'm doing the Cabbage Patch, the Running Man, the Moonwalk, the Funky Four Corners, the 2+2. I'm doing all that stuff. The Spank, the Hustle, all of that. The Bus Stop. Can't stop me. I got on a Lanacane patch. uh, oh, Diana wasn't a royal when she died. Her mother and sisters were executors rather, of her estate. Ah, okay. They are creepy. Listen, I put them on the list of creepy families, and the other people that creep me out. You know who those people are. I'll let y'all guess the other family that creeps me out. Okay? I'll let you all guess the other family that creeps me out. I mean, is it because of the money or what? I don't like that weirdness with a family. I cannot stand that. Hmm. Okay, I'm just looking at some of y'all comments. Harry has heaps of money from Spare and the Netflix shows, not to mention his Travelers, etc. Well, I don't know if Harry gets a salary from Travelers, but we still got other sources of income, like what is that? Better Up. Also, Harry has done a few lectures or speaking engagements, if you will. Um, oh, I'm trying to think what else. Plus, the other thing is the Sussexes have an investment portfolio. Remember, I think the name of it was Ethics. They invest through a firm that find the most ethical ways to invest money. In other words, they make sure that they make investments in what do you call it? In companies that are not responsible for deforestation, animal cruelty, um, an incredible amount of carbon emissions. That is why they use ethics as an investment firm. Is for people who are socially conscious and morally conscious and also environmentally conscious. You know what? I should be on the Sussex's PR team. I think I could do that job. Let's see. Pretoria, Beckham. Oh, Victoria. No, I was saying that. Is it Pretoria? Beckham has patent all on her. Oh yes, I read that. They said they wanted the before he married, they wanted him to sign away the rights to his name. Oh my God, what kind of family are they? What kind of family are they? So did y'all figure out the other family that creeps me out? Nobody. Don't be afraid to say it. Will and Jada Smith and them kids. Ooh, I can't stand those people. Ooh, I don't like them. They creep me out. They creep me out. I'm not kidding. They creep me out. I'm glad I don't live next door to them. I'm glad we're not even in the same zip code. Okay. Yeah. I don't like weird families. I'm just like, Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They creep me out. Red tables, um, the Oscar ceremony. Oh, all of those people creep me out. I'm just like, mm. So stop right now. Stop right now. Brooklyn's wedding guest speaks. Brooklyn has dancing tape. Brooklyn was turned. Do you think the Daily Mail is making a lot of money today? Brooklyn was turned. Brooklyn has dancing tape. Brooklyn's wedding guest speaks. Stop right now. Yes, they're making some money. This is like Sussex money. And the best part about it is it ain't got nothing to do with Harry and Meghan, although they'll figure out a way to put them in there. But this has been not only for the Daily Mail, but across the tabloid world. These people are ordering the painters to come to their houses. They are sending in a big fat payment for their kids' tuition. Um, Maybe a couple of them are about to have some new countertops installed in their kitchen. This is big money for them. Big money. Oh, yeah. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Now, don't ask me how I found this, but I found just a couple of images. I found a couple of images of Victoria Beckham from the wedding. And as they said, it did get a little bit out of hand. I didn't even know she was capable of doing a handstand. I didn't know that she could do a midair split. But apparently, but apparently, uh, Mama Beckham is quite limber. Yes, she is quite limber. I'm wondering how did they stop at 3 kids? She is quite limber. I mean, she is acrobatic and in stilettos, no less. Now that's impressive, isn't it? Do you know that if certain people could do that, they would never go hungry? Let's see here. I feel for Brooklyn, it is very annoying to have found someone that you love and watch them smeared through the tabloids by your parents. Sick. Thank you, Lex, for the super chat. And there is that too. There is that too. Um, it has been reported, it has been alleged that the Beckhams have been leaking and briefing and shaping a narrative about Brooklyn and his wife, that they have a communications team, it has been alleged, that has been doing very similar types of shenanigans as though it was um, Kensington Palace, as if it was coming out of Kensington Palace. That's the kind of stuff that they've been doing. Every child in the Beckham household is a commodity. Everything, every whatever it is, they are commodities. They are marketable. I do believe that these are AI. Oh my God, but they're funny. When I saw these, I just want you to know I let out the most primal scream you ever heard. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could hear me all over the neighborhood. uh, you know that the picture on the right, do you remember that dancer Juliet Prowse? Did she make commercials for legs, pantyhose? Remember how she was doing that commercial with all them hack kicks and everything? Let me see. Juliet Prowse. Okay, American dancer and actress. I know she had some kind of ad campaign. Juliet Prowse advertising campaign. Yes, she did an ad for legs pantyhose, and every time you seen her, um, she always had her legs up, always in the middle of a kick. Juliet Prowse. Wow, then that's a baby boomer memory, isn't it? Here, I'll show you what I mean. Oh boy, those pictures are a scream. See what I mean? You see what I mean? When I look at her, I just think Juliet Prowse. I wonder whatever happened to her. In other words, is she still alive? Let me see. Juliet Prowse. Okay. Is she still alive? Juliet Prowse. I mean, since I brought her up, I may as well check it out, right? Oh no. She died young. She was 59 years old. She passed away back in 1996. Oh, Juliet? Wait a minute. She was born in Bombay, British India. She was born in Bombay. Oh, yeah. Poor thing. She died young. She had an illness. 11 days before her 60th birthday. That's sad. Oh well, it's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, there are some echoes of Harry and Meghan in this story, isn't it? Oh, you know what? This is out of place, obviously. This was supposed to be higher up, but never mind. Let's see. Let me get over here with this while I'm going down memory lane, wandering down memory lane at that. It says Brooklyn's accusations about Victoria's dance read, my mom hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance, to a romantic love song. Mm, interesting. And let's see, what do we have here? Posh left Brooklyn's wife in tears at wedding after hijacking first dance. The Beckhams, the toxic dynamic of their curated life for money. Today, Brooklyn Beckham, the eldest son, released a public statement accusing his parents of maintaining a something, something, something. Well, Victoria's dress to her son Brooklyn's wedding looks like underwear. I'd have been embarrassed too. So apparently, the mother of the groom, wore something that looked like a slip, something that looked like, yeah, a slip or a nightgown. She wore something that looked like a nightgown to her son's wedding. Now, to be fair, She wasn't the only one, but the detail at the top does make it look a bit weird, right? But she was not the only one. As you can see, Nicola's mother, who's on the left side in silver, also wore something very clingy. As a matter of fact, her dress is far more clingier than Victoria's. Um, and then I don't know who this is in blue. Um, wait, is that's not the bride, is it? I don't know. Anyway, um, a bit clingy, a bit, a bit much, a bit much. I don't know what the heck kind of wedding this was, but I'm just gonna guess it did not take place at a cathedral. Is that a good guess? That it didn't take place at a cathedral? And of course, Kate Middleton is no stranger to wearing something inappropriate, as she did when she went to Meghan's wedding. To me, Victoria Beckham sounds just like a selfish and attention seeking as Kate Middleton. One wore white to another woman's wedding, the other wore lingerie. Both pulled me antics in the attempt to derail someone else's special day. Same mean girl energy. The same mean girl energy. Now, Thrifty Kate strikes a Duchess of Cambridge recycle white Alexander McQueen coat dress we've seen 4 times already for surprise attendance of Anzac Day service. I just want you guys to know for certain that that same dingy looking dress um, is white. It's a white dress. They have seen it 4 times, and every time it's white. The only time that they didn't mention that it was a white dress was on the Sussex wedding day. That particular day, it was just Alexander McQueen. Now, in order to have plausible deniability, Kate puts on a very pale yellow fancier along with the white dress. I have further evidence. These are the other occasions that she wore the dress: a christening, whatever that was, and whatever that was. Different hats, same dress. And then also she wore it 2018 to the Sussex wedding. Duchess of Cambridge recycled white Alexander McQueen coat dress. Mean girl energy. But when she went to Zara's wedding, she wore whatever color that is. For Pippa, she wore that dog of a dress. What else? Um, Sophie's wedding, not Sophie's wedding, but friends of Sophie. Well, she wore that blue. And then Meghan's wedding, white. Eugenie's wedding, she wore um what is that? Burgundy? Yeah, she wore that wine color that you see in the bottom right. She knew exactly what she was doing. Now, a message from the notorious one, who we often trust to put things into perspective. And yes, this has to do with the Beckham situation.
Keeps asking me why I haven't spoken out about the Brooklyn Beckham situation. And honestly, it's because I didn't want to pile on to a family implosion. But friends asked, and I'm here delivering. If you've ever grown up in a household where image mattered more than your actual feelings, you clocked it immediately. Brooklyn isn't brainwashed. He's not controlled, because it's so easy to blame the wife. He's not ungrateful. He just sounds like somebody who finally realized that his entire life has been a brand campaign, that his parents' love comes with a press release, that every moment is curated, approved, filtered, and sold. And yes, I'm going to say it. The Beckhams operate like a mini royal family, where image is everything. Optics are law. The family is the product. You don't just exist, you perform. We've seen this movie before. A powerful, glossy institution builds a perfect facade, and one child decides they don't want to be a prop anymore. The machine panics. Suddenly, the kid becomes difficult, manipulative, lost. Sound familiar? Brooklyn is saying, I don't want reconciliation. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself. And people are acting like that's a crime. Why is it so hard for people to believe that rich, famous, beloved families can still be toxic? Toxic doesn't always look like chaos. Sometimes it looks like perfection. Sometimes it looks like matching outfits, glossy Instagram posts, and a family brand so powerful that your pain becomes inconvenient. The Beckhams could have shut this down months ago. They are media professionals. They know how rumor cycles work. They know how tabloids turn a whisper into a narrative. They know how to kill a story when they want to. One clean statement, leave our family alone, and the story would be over. But they didn't. They let the rumor mill spin. They let Brooklyn get framed as distant and manipulative. They watched strangers dissect his marriage and his mental state, and they said nothing. That silence is loud. Because when you can stop a narrative and you choose not to, you're complicit in it. Brooklyn saw that. He watched how easily the machine kept rolling, even when it was flattening him. So he did the only thing he can do when the story is being written about you instead of with you. He spoke, not to start drama, not to torch his family, not to sell secrets, but to draw a line and say, I want to be left alone. I am not a pawn. I am not a prop. I am not available for this narrative. That is self-preservation. And when you grow up inside a brand that never stops branding, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is step out of the frame. And that's the read. This is the notorious JTB, notoriously opinionated, signing out. Everyone keeps asking me why I haven't spoken out about the Brooklyn Beckham situation. And honestly, it's
Okay. Why? Who said I went in the kitchen and looked in the cabinet and got a cookie? Who said that? Y'all tripping. Anyway, I know, and that's so wicked. That is really wicked. Thank you very much, Cookies and Cream. Oh, that's interesting. Wondering why all of this year they have been saying that Meghan has been copying Victoria. And also, why were they saying that there was some kind of feud? I don't know you know, what feud? A feud based on what? Although I haven't heard that much as of late, but I think maybe 2024 or was it 2023? They kept pushing this idea that there was some type of issues with the Beckhams and the Sussexes, especially that whole thing about David Beckham is the son, Charles is the second son, or whatever Charles always wanted, or the brother that William needs right now, and all that kind of crap. Well, you can have him. You could have him, and you can have um, Victoria. You have both of them at bargain basement prices too. Okay. I'm going to move on to something else. The Prince and Princess of Wales take to the ice as they meet Winter Olympic heroes and visit the iconic Kelpies on the day of engagement in Scotland. So Harry comes to town for a court case. Charles is somewhere in a secret, undisclosed location, and Will and Kate flee to Scotland. I mean, they went as far as they could go without leaving the island. You know what I mean? So, interesting. They got the two horsemen of the apocalypse behind them. Well, if you count those two, there's four horses. Uh, uh, one horse has a baby brain, the other one has a bird brain. And the one with the bird brain is so dumb, if you put that brain in a real bird, it would fly backwards. Yep. But as you can see, Kate, who is still recovering, is very capable of getting down on all fours when necessary. It doesn't even take a whole lot of provocation. I mean, just the simple suggestion of it, and there she is, down on all fours. Um, well, the good thing is that they are bringing so much attention to the curling as a sport. I mean, if not for curling, actually, I'm trying to find something good to say about curling. Anyway, the object is you want to slide the stone across. I don't know what the object is. It looks weird, but yes, that's what she's doing. She's curling. You know what, guys? I'm going to give them this much credit. They are in it to win it. Those two are going above and beyond in order to prove to the world that they are deeply in love with each other. Now, we know that in all likelihood, they're not living in the same household. It has been alleged, it has been reported. We know that they're not sharing the same household, that the Forest Lodge has reportedly been gifted to Kate just to give her something to do and some place to live, out of sight, out of mind, so that the likelihood that people will realize that William is nowhere to be found, or that they're dividing their court appointed quality time with their children would mostly go unnoticed. Also, um, Kate is wearing the ring. Yeah, she's wearing the ring, so she's got that going. Uh, at least they are matching. And as you can see, uh, Kate is doing everything she can to stay in character, even if it hurts, which explains that very strange look she has on her face. Likewise, William steps from the vehicle looking as pissed off as ever. And Kate, of course, you can see that she has angled her left hand so that everyone can see Princess Diana's sapphire and diamond engagement ring. And over there on the left, well, aren't they striking a pose? I wonder if they have a rehearsal for this. Do they have a rehearsal? Do they count the steps in their head like 1, 2, 3, hold hands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pat them on the bottom. You know what I mean? Take 10 steps, pat them on the bottom. Take 4 steps, hold hands. Take 16 steps, turn your hand over so people can see Diana's ring. It's starting to make sense. You know, once you got it figured out, once it started making sense, then you know you've been doing this for too long. It was not the welcome they expected, as Prince William and Kate Middleton were challenged over allegations of that sick old man, Andrew. Let me roll tape, shall we? Let's roll tape. It's coming up. Coming soon. Just a little bit more to go. Here we are. Stein. How long have you known about Andrew and Ed Stein?
Have you been covering up for Andrew?
Go away, Manny. Go away. That's enough. There's children here, right? Police officer, right? You carry on, you can be arrested for breach of peace. Okay.
How long have you known about Andrew and Ed Stein? How long have you known about Andrew and Ed Stein?
Have you been covering up for Andrew?
Go away, Manny. Go away. That's enough. There's children here, right? Police officer, right? You carry on, you can be arrested for breach of peace. Okay.
One more time. Andrew and Ed Stein. How long have you known about Andrew and Ed Stein?
Have you been covering up for Andrew?
Go away, Manny. Go away. That's enough. There's children here, right? Police officer, right? You carry on, you can be arrested for breach of peace. Okay.
How long have you known about Andrew and Ed Stein? How long have you known about Andrew and Ed Stein?
Have you been covering up for Andrew?
Shut up!
Go away, Manny. Go away. That's enough. There's children here, right? Police officer, right? You carry on, you can be arrested.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! My. Still waters run deep, don't they? Still waters run deep. Yes, it do. Whoa, yeah. Don't trouble the waters. Leave it alone. Why don't you let it be? Yes, still waters run deep.
Why does your family cost us £500 million a year, Charles?
But just so you know,
why does your family cost us £500 million a year, Charles?
Yes.
Your family cost us £500 million. Why don't you pay your gardeners minimum wage?
I'm sorry, say again.
Why does your family cost us £500 million a year, Charles?
Yes.
Your family cost us £500 million. Why don't you pay your gardeners minimum wage?
Why does your family cost £500 million a year? Why? Why are we paying £500 million for your family? That is a good question. Let me see. I'm trying to find that other incident. Remember the one where Charles was outside of the church? But Tom Sykes, let me see. That's not it. Nope, that's not it. Oh, well. I don't rightly see it.
Writing the book about...
And that one I can't share with you. So let me try this. Heckled.
and Epstein? How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? Have you been covering up for Andrew?
Go away, Manny. Go away. That's enough. There's children here, right? Police officer, right? You carry on, you can be arrested for breach of the peace. Okay.
How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? Have you been covering up for Andrew?
Go away, Manny. Go away. That's enough. There's children here, right? Police officer, right? You carry on, you can be arrested for breach of the peace. Okay.
My. Oh, well. So much for the Left Behind Royals. Yeah, that was tough, wasn't it? That was really tough. Poor Willie. Poor William. Not sure what to do, was he? But the good thing about it is all you have to do is confront them and you won't see them for another month. They're going to go into reclusion again. They're going to go hide out somewhere because they cannot take criticism. You know that. Especially Kate. You know her nerves are shot. So she's what do you call it? She's just about a tree short of a hammock. So she cannot stand that kind of scrutiny. Oh, let me see here. Oh, well, unfortunately, I'm not finding my other one. Yeah, the one where he was outside of the cathedral.
Pledging your allegiance to King Charles.
What do you think?
A wild guess? Listen, no, I've got nothing against the royal family. However, of late, I am pledging my allegiance, if any, to Harry and Meghan. Because of that, I won't be pledging my allegiance. I don't even know what you're pledging for. I think we share the same views. I am loyal and would pledge my allegiance to my family, and that's all. I think it's very outdated, and I'm just not a fan of what's going on at the moment. So I won't be pledging my allegiance to them, but I wish them all the very best in their king and queenness.
And they're saying, nation, will you pledge allegiance to the king? Hands up if it's a yes. Not one.
Wow.
No, one lone lady there.
Thinking about
Interesting, Gloria. Will you be doing
I won't necessarily make the pledge.
will you be pledging allegiance to King Charles?
pledge allegiance to any man, to be quite perfect. I agree with Denise. I pledge my allegiance to my children, to support them and lift them up as much as I can. And words are words. I want to see actions, and then I can pledge what I want.
Yeah. But if you, we asked you at home what you thought. If I can get this flipping thing to work. Yes, I can. Yeah, will you be pledging your allegiance to the King? And 26% of you say yes, you will. 74 no. So yeah, so
It might actually be older people who do it rather than younger people.
I think so. I think so. Will you be?
Well, the heckler was saying born equal, in case you couldn't make that out. So Kate, as quiet as is kept, Kate has been heckled while she was out all by herself. And you know what, guys? There's going to be more of that in the future. I could assure you there's going to be more booing, more jeers, and more heckling in the future. The level of deference that people gave Queen Elizabeth, those days are gone. And even Queen Elizabeth had been heckled on occasion. So she went to Scotland one time. I believe it was that last time she opened Parliament up there, and she was heckled. So even in the frail state that she was in, they did not care. She was still heckled by some people waiting outside. And mind you, there was not a crowd. There were more people there to protest Queen Elizabeth in Scotland than there were any well-wishers. Yeah, so let that sink in. So yeah, William and Kate get heckled treatment in Scotland today. Questioned about how long did they know about Andrew, the sick old man, and if they'd been covering up for him. The questions were still being fired before one of their security team interrupted. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. So the Prince of Wales and Princess of Wales, the Duke and Duchess of Rothesay, will visit the National Curling Academy, the Peak Forthside Way, Stirling. And then the other place that they went there. So they quickly found some things to do to avoid being in town during Harry's visit. And right there, William and Catherine, according to Rebecca English, compete at curling on a visit to Scotland today. Guess who won? I'm going to say accident-prone Kate, who's not as bad off as people thought she was. So, yeah, I'm going to say Kate. Oh, look at there. Look, arm in arm. Isn't that something? They're posing for a photo. Arm in arm, you guys. Now, that is what I thought Meghan was the only actress in the family. But there's two actresses right there. Wow. Wow. I hope they got their Screen Actors Guild card. See, they don't skip BAFTA because they're not welcome. They skip BAFTA because they don't want to make the other actors feel threatened. That's why they don't go to BAFTA, because they are such incredible talents themselves. Yeah. Because if I didn't know better, I would think that they liked each other. But the thing is, I know better. This is all keeping up appearances. And guess what, you guys? I am done. That's it. Excuse me. I am done. Sorry to keep you all up so late. Oh, it was a hectic day for me. Yeah, it just was. I'm not under the weather, but I just did not sleep well. And then when I did finally get some sleep, it was just at the worst possible time. I think I'm going kind of stir crazy. I got to get out of the house, but it's so cold outside. It is freezing out there. I'm a native Chicagoan, right? And I always say I'm just like an Arctic polar bear. I was born on the ice. I have lived on the ice, and I'll probably go out of here on the ice. So I don't usually let the cold weather get me down, but I'm just like, oh boy, I need some sunshine. Minus the blistering cold temperatures. Oh, I need to put something on the screen, don't I? Loompa, loompa, loompa-dee-dum. If you are a royal road, you are scum. Loompa, loompa, loopity-doo. If you royal road, F you. I knew I would find something to rhyme. I knew I would find something that would rhyme. Oh, well, thanks, everyone. Love you guys. Now, let's try to come on earlier tomorrow, shall we? I think we can do it. Cheers. Good night, everybody. There's still over 550 people in here. I'm done. Cheers. I'm going to be the one to cut the lights out. So good night. Love you guys. Thank you, moderators. I say good night. Okay, seriously, I'm going to go. But I'll see you guys next time. And you guys pray for the Sussex squad. There's been a lot of squaddies with illness and taking tests. And then, of course, there's some squaddies that have lost some loved ones. But y'all know how we are with each other around here. So make sure you get those prayers out for everyone who needs it. Okay. All right. Good night, Sandra. Miss Z. Connie Palmer, we're just about to leave. Cookies and cream. Nicole Tannis. Mary H. Jetstar. Soul Brother. I think Soul Brother's sleeping already. All right. Hey, Jules. Didn't know you were here. Good night, Legs. And good night, Hazel Jones, wherever you are. Good night, Antoinette. Gwendolyn Daniels.